Geeks, Gamers, and Nonconformists, this is Matt Haywood here with a special edition of the Entertainment Budacast. What is so special about it? Well, everyone that is on the cast, we're all special in our own way. No, in all seriousness, this is the first ever annual Golden Buddha Video Game Awards Extravaganza and shit. All right, we can thank my man Ray, who used to be the Wu-Tang Clan, for coming up with the title, who has now joined us after a long time in no man's land back on the cast. Ray, welcome back, my friend. How you doing?
Thank you. I wish I was in no man's sky, but I actually can't get over the fact that we're calling it that because I just didn't know what to name our little spreadsheet.
Well, yeah, why not?
I'm glad it's stuck.
I think Joystick does golden joystick, so why can't we do fucking golden Buddhas?
Oh, well, then we're doing silver Buddha then.
How about platinum?
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
Bronze Buddha? We got the BB.
Yeah, but then that's not the best. All right. Obsidian. We're doing obsidian.
Okay,
screw it.
Fine. Dragon glass. So anyways, we're doing some sort of fucking award show today. We're hoping to. We'll also follow it up tomorrow with a written post for those of you that are deaf. So anyways, we got this is the largest team cast to date. We're setting all sorts of records today. We have returning from across the pond, 10 motherfucking Bensons. 10 Bensons. It is a joyous occasion when you're on the cast. How are you doing?
I'm all good. I hope everyone is receptive to have me back and happy.
How can we not? I mean,
hell yeah.
Your voice and that accent just gives so much more credibility to this podcast.
We sound like we know what we're talking about with a British person.
We're going to go from 3 views to at least 4 views with you being on this cast.
I get you playing by the rules, having a bit of, proper Britishness.
Yeah.
Diversity in gaming, bud.
That's it, yeah.
We also have one of the co-hosts of the No Punt Intended Budacast. If you're not listening to that, that's your fault. You're probably losing out on all sorts of cash-making opportunities through their gambling tips and other degenerate ways to watch football. And Justin Beethoven von Ludwig. How you doing, Justin? Welcome to the Budacast proper.
When did he lose the moniker of Wu-Tang Clan? Was that a thing?
Yeah, he has gone through a rebirth and now wants to be known as Raymond Pareca, or RP3.
That's boring.
Separation of church and state.
Yes. So get it straight. The Wu-Tang Clan is dead. He only lives on Twitch.
Yeah. It's okay, I guess.
So anyways, welcome to the cast, man. Nice to have you on here. I don't know if we have any numbers for you to crunch, but
no, I'm off the clock. It's okay.
Okay, good. And we did have Anna on the cast. She's one of our main hosts, but she's having some sort of internet trouble down there in Florida. So she may join in a little bit later or not. You'll know when you do not hear a deep-toned voice. And we have a brand new EB staffer joining us in David Seaver. Hey, David, how you doing? Nice to have you on the cast.
Pretty good. Pretty sweaty in this stupid armchair, but besides that, I'm good.
Sweet. My armpits are a little wet, and so is my asshole. So it's just par for the course. When we said
strip down to your pants, we didn't.
Yeah, we weren't kidding. It's definitely gets you in the groove.
I didn't get that memo.
Do you turn your Funko Pops around when you do that so they don't see you?
No, they love to watch. Trust me, they've seen all sorts of nasty stuff.
We're going off the rails.
All sorts of nasty stuff with the Funko Pops. Which, by the way, I will be releasing a new video of all my Funko Pop children. Because I probably have about 400 at this point, and I need to be checked into a fucking mental asylum. I'm going broke over Funko Pops. So anyways, let's get the show on the road. I know some of you got to get rolling. So like I said, we're going to do kind of the entertainmentbuddha.com staff. We voted on various categories in gaming. Best action adventure game, best third-person shooter, worst game of the year, best game of the year, so on and so forth. So the staff and myself, we laid down our votes in a very democratic fashion. Some people probably put in more votes than they should have, but we have our results, and we are here to share them with you. Mind you, we did have some ties in categories, so we're going to use this cast to break the ties because we have a majority of people on here, or who gives a shit, will at least come to a conclusion. So unless anyone has anything to say, I guess we could just kind of open it with a brief summary of 2014 in gaming in general. Overall, it was kind of a down year, at least in my opinion, for games. A lot of the major releases that were supposed to come out this fall got pushed. A lot of the AAAs that did come out this fall either were released in a very piece of shit state, were broken, some features didn't work, so on and so forth. And really, there hasn't been that game that just killed it, that everyone was talking about, at least not in my opinion. So what do you guys think about 2014 as a whole? Were you happy with it, disappointed, who cares?
Probably couldn't wait to buy into next gen.
Yeah, true.
I'd think that it was disappointing in the fact, like you say, there was a lot of broken releases. One developer in particular, more so than others. But I mean,
Ubisoft.
2014 was supposed to be the year of like the next gen, and it still doesn't feel like the PS4 and Xbox One are hitting their stride in terms of games.
Yeah, not even close, man. I mean, not even close. We've talked about this ad nauseum about why this is happening. It's because they're still making games for the old consoles, but nothing. I mean, there might have been one or two that were like, okay, we're getting there. Anyone else? Or are we going to play Dead Air Dave today?
I mean, like you said, it was a big preview year. I mean, pre-ordered a lot of things for next year, and there was a few interesting games here and there to tease you with the new shit, but nothing where I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I, bought a next-gen console.
D4. Don't worry, Ray.
Name a better
D4.
game that utilized the Kinect. Name a better game that ever will utilize the Kinect. Like,
name a
Ray,
game that needs to use the Kinect because now it's defunct.
You are the expert on D4, buddy.
Who the fuck cares about Kinect?
We have no clue.
I don't. I certainly don't. I use the controller for it, but I'm just saying. Like,
I'll tell you what, people on Reddit care about Kinect.
Ray just likes the idea that people can
Reddit
spy on him.
Like,
I love Reddit now, by the way. I'm addicted to that shit.
well, better post this podcast on there. Maybe we'll get 3 listeners.
I'm sure it'll get banned and my account will be terminated and they'll keep saying that entertainmentbuddha.com is nothing but spam. So, all right. Well, that was a fairly lackluster summary of 2014 , but I didn't expect anything less. Yes.
There you go. Controversy.
Oh, yeah. I really don't even want to get into all the fucking Gamergate bullshit because to me it is nothing but bullshit. And I just
People
hope it
complaining
dies
about
and goes
things.
away. And, well, I mean, that's nothing new. Gamers just intrinsically hate themselves or hate life or they hate video games. Go ahead.
I thought gamers were dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that happened.
Yeah,
this year,
real
too.
gamers are dead. There are no real gamers left. You know who real gamers are? The people that played on fucking Atari and Nintendo and in the arcades. I mean, those are real games.
I don't know, man. I mean, you could take that back as far as you want. You could say
I'm
people
back, everyone.
Oh, there she is.
My internet crapped out, so it is a Buddhacast tradition.
All right, Anna. Hey, we told you she might be on, and here she is. This is Anna down in Florida. And we were just kind of talking about leading into the Golden Buddha Awards. We're talking just kind of 2014, the year in gaming in general. And we're all kind of like, it's been a collective meh so far.
Yeah, it has been. Big pile of shit.
Yeah, I think a lot of us had high expectations, like Benson said, for the new consoles, hoping that we get that killer app or that killer game that was just like, wow, I got to go out and buy a PS4. I got to get an Xbox One.
I do want to say with one caveat though, the only game that felt next gen to me, and I don't mean next gen as in visuals, because there's plenty of games that were released that were visually stunning, but in terms of mechanics and progression, I would say the only game that ever came close to it was Shadow of Mordor with the Nemesis system. And that
speaking of, did any of you guys read Ken Levine, the guy that created BioShock? He's doing like reviews of games now, and he dropped his review of Shadow of Mordor yesterday and just said, yeah, I mean, this guy is a fucking genius. I mean, he's a fantastic writer and he knows how to build great games. But he essentially said the Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system just completely blew him away. He's like, how is this not breaking the game? It was a good read just to kind of read the thoughts of a developer that knows what goes into making a game and how impressed he was with that system. So I think you're dead on, man.
I think it's one of those things that in the next 4 or 5 years, you're going to see a lot of games that will copy that wholesale, that entire system.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's all gaming. That's all video games are now. Just take the best of another game and incorporate it into your game. I mean, look how many. All of Ubisoft's games are essentially the same thing. They're all Assassin's Creed. I mean, I love Far Cry 3. I haven't started Far Cry 4, but I know
Far Cry 4 is Far Cry 3.
But yeah, it's all the same shit. It's unlock, get on a high point to unlock parts of a map, go around, collect shit, do a main mission, and move on.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying I'm too good for those games, but it's like
sounds like Dragon Age Inquisition.
Ooh, here it comes!
Yeah, but you don't have to like climb to a point of the map and unlock.
No, you have to go
fog of
open
war.
a camp.
You have to go run around and
even the crew has like radio towers, doesn't it? That you have to drive.
That's absurd to me.
Yeah,
like of all things, but yeah.
So at least we had one game that tried a little bit of innovation, and it reflects in our Golden Boot Awards, and I have a feeling it will probably show up in our EntertainmentBuddha.com's top motherfucking 10 games of 2014 list. And that's exactly how we're going to title it.
Before we jump into all that, I would like to take a little callback to the the first cast we ever did where we were very concerned about keeping it PC. Or not a lot of language. And just,
fuck that
I haven't
shit.
been here for a while, but we have just how the mighty have fallen. Jeez.
Yeah, well,
I go away for 2 months. You guys just, oof.
Hey, fuck it, man.
Oof.
we've got the big explicit rating in iTunes, so we might as well take advantage
that's
of
so
it.
sick. That's awesome.
Yeah, so, get out your F-bombs, your shits, your assholes, your cunt bags, whatever you want to say, because it all flows on the Buddhacast. All right, gang, let's jump into this bad boy. So, without further ado, we have the Entertainment Buddha Golden
Can I hear that
Buddha
fanfare
Awards.
again, please?
There
Beautiful.
you go.
Spot on.
Incorporate that into the cast. I know
The Queen would be
you'll do it
proud.
somehow. Yes. All hail the Queen Mum. All right, so let's start out with the first genre. I want to see what you guys think is the winner for Best Action Adventure Game of the Year. So what do you guys think we voted on as a staff as the winner?
Shadow of Mordor.
And Anna wins the prize. That's right.
Yes.
We have chosen Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor as a best action adventure game of 2014, and I think that is a fair assessment. Anyone disagree?
Yes.
Probably everyone that didn't vote for it. Yeah.
Should have been Bayo.
Yeah, again, Ray is very into his Eastern video games. If it's remotely
Don't worry,
Japanese,
I'm going
he's
to
all
edit
about it.
the majority of Ray's riposts out of this. It's just going to be and that'll be it.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, though,
What is this? Just North Korea now?
I don't even want to get into that
Whoa. We don't want this Buddhacast
shit.
shut down.
Now
okay?
we're all going to get assassinated.
Watch out now.
Well, that'd be kind of cool. Let's be real. We'd be pretty internet.
The site would definitely blow up if that happens.
Get a bunch of hashtags.
Hey, Kim John, if you're listening, buddy, we love you.
Whoa, commie.
So anyways, I for one think that is a honorable title to give Shadow of Mordor. Like we talked earlier,
No,
it's
I'll
definitely
agree,
innovative
too.
and it was
Yeah,
very
I mean-
fun to play. I mean, it was one of those games that I was sad to put down because I had to move on to the next one. But
I can't help but feel like I think I said on probably the last cast I was on was right when Middle Earth came out, but I really enjoyed it. I can't help but think it would have been a better game if it was in its own, if it wasn't tied to like Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth stuff. If that was its own unique kind of
Do you know what?
IP or franchise,
say,
I think it would be pretty rad.
The thing is,
So-
though, imagine how cool that would be if they transferred it over to say something like the Batman. The Arkham
Yeah,
games.
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, the thing with Mordor was that if you take all of its elements in a separate kind of context, it took a lot from Assassin's Creed and it took combat from the Batman games. And, I mean, it does them very well, but they're nothing spectacularly impressive. But that
they're not
Nemesis
different,
system-
but they're better than both. I
I
thought
mean,
the combat was way better than the last Batman and tons better than Assassin's Creed.
Well, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, like, Shadow of Mordor without the Nemesis system is probably a solid 7, but with that Nemesis system, it just blows it up so much.
For the
It's so good.
for the slow motion brutal kills and heads falling off, I'd give it a 10. I mean, I love that. I love those animations.
But yeah, no, I think Ray's right that it does get dragged down slightly with the Lord of the Rings world attached to it because
but being a geek of Tolkien, I kind of liked even though it's not canon, I kind of appreciated them fleshing out the story of Celebrimbor a little bit.
and it's probably a good thing that it wasn't canon as well because then it would have made it a lot more rigid in
right.
Plus, it would have pissed off
They probably put
fanboys too.
Legolas in it.
Well, I'm sure it's still pissed off fanboys, or at least Tolkien purists, because based on what I've been reading about people going to see The Hobbit, I mean, they'd think Peter Jackson is the worst filmmaker of all time and should die. But we're not really talking about movies. So any other thoughts on our best action adventure game?
I'm with Ray on this one. I mean, if it wasn't stuck into the Lord of the Rings universe so much, it would have been so much better. I mean, it had great enemies, awesome combat, but it got a little on the repetitive side, whereas like compared to Sunset Overdrive, that was very poppy and flashy. Mordor was very texture-based and had these great environments, but I wanted a little bit more from it. I mean, it was great to explore, but I got bored after a while.
Yeah, but you cannot say that the orc names weren't fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Uruguay,
Yeah.
Urukai, whatever they're called.
I love the entrances. The end when
Yeah, like Ray
war
called them,
chiefs are
they're like
coming in.
title cards. I mean, it's like a fucking boxing fight.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the next category, and this would be best role-playing game of the year. What do we think? What does the Peanut Gallery think here?
Probably Dragon Age.
And Anna is
It's
right.
gonna have to be
again.
Dragon Age. Yeah.
2 for 2.
Dragon
Who invited
Age
her?
What?
She's so
Inquisition,
smart.
best role-playing game of the year. And really, when you look at the options, I mean,
There weren't a lot.
you can make an argument for South Park, no doubt. But the other ones, I don't think you can make an argument for. Go ahead, Dark Souls fans, lay it on me.
No, I mean, Dark Souls 2 was my pick. Dark Souls 2 is, to me, a 6 out of 10 as a Dark Souls or a Souls game.
Yeah.
But I think compared to the rest of the games of the year that came out this year, it's a solid 8.5. So, I don't know. I don't like Inquisition. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's
I think I'm with you on the Dark Souls thing because being a Dark Souls fan like yourself, like when I played it, I was disappointed.
Right.
Compared to Demon Souls and compared to Dark Souls, having such pedigree, and I think I built it up so much in my head, and that it was a major letdown. And I was playing it on PC as well, so I had all the kind of visual impressiveness of a higher resolution, etc., etc. And I don't know, I can't remember exactly what I said about it at the time, but I remember me and you had a little bit of a chat, and some of the changes they made, I just couldn't quite figure out why they did that. It took away from what made Dark Souls really good and really compelling. So yeah, and I haven't played much of Dragon Age either. So
I'll tell you what. I mean,
really-
I did vote for Dragon Age, but I completely forgot South Park existed. So
Yeah,
if I
see,
went
South
back in
Park's a good
time, I
shout.
think it's more of a pure RPG in my opinion than Dragon
Yeah,
Age.
like Obsidian knocked it out of the park with South Park.
Yeah, but you got to
Knocked
go
it
with
out
the
of the
masses,
South
so
Park.
Dragon Age wins. Justin,
You
David,
said
any
we were
comments on that?
nonconformists.
I mean, the things that
Yeah,
you
well.
guys were saying about Shadow of Mordor is what was a strength for South Park, in that if it weren't tied to the South Park universe, it would have been, like a 6 or 7. I mean, it's a very competent RPG, and you're right, it's a traditional RPG, but the fact, just all the references and the jokes that were tied to South Park just made the game so enjoyable because you wanted to keep going. You wanted to find all those little nuggets and dumb little items.
Yeah,
and all
and
the
what
little
other
chin
game
Pokemon
have you been able to do a mission inside a woman's vagina? Where where you're right? I mean,
What
that
if it
game was
was in
just so
3D?
bonkers. It was fantastic. So I really think either one could have taken it. I get Dragon Age because it's 1,000 times bigger.
For me, what was great about Inquisition was that when it came out, I could finally convince people again that Dragon Age was a solid RPG series. Because
I'll tell you what.
Because after Dragon Age 2, some people got a little disappointed, especially with those cookie cutter environments that they kept repeating over and over.
Yeah, I remember really for me, what Dragon Age Inquisition did, it finally kind of woke me up to the lore of the franchise, because I think the first game and the second game made no sense to me. I mean, they just kind of seemed like clusterfucks of a narrative. So some of the stuff they're talking about early on in Inquisition, I'm going, what the hell are they talking about?
You should really check out the Dragon Age wiki.
Oh, I did. Trust me. I read the first one, the second one, and the third one just to make sure I got everything correct. So that they do flow together when you read the wiki. I'm just saying, I wish I didn't have to read a wiki to do that, but I think Inquisition did a much better job of kind of explaining the world.
The war table is my favorite part, where if you have enough points, you can just buy out certain areas. But I didn't pay enough attention to what level you needed to be on before you buy out an area. So I ended up jumping into the swamp and just getting my ass totally handed to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ray got to watch. I did a stream one night. I did the same thing. I was in an area trying to close a rift that I had no business trying to close, and it just was an ass kicking.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was pretty
Inquisition
entertaining
definitely
to watch.
has a little bit
It
of
felt like
challenge.
Matt gets an iPhone 6 all over again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, now you guys may believe me that I've spent well over $350 on Xbox 360 controllers. I definitely have a problem.
We don't need to hear it. We can see it in the writing. So we know the anger's there.
Yes, that is right. All right, so let's move on to the next category. This is Best First-Person Shooter of the Year. The winner is definitely deserving of it. I want to see if anyone can guess what it was.
Wolfenstein.
Master Chief Collection.
Wolfenstein,
BJ
baby.
Blazkowicz, baby.
That game
Let's go.
is the shit. Wolfenstein: The New Order. If you have not played that yet, do yourself a favor and pick it up. It's one of the best pure FPS games that have come out in a long time. And by pure, I mean it actually had a story and not multiplayer tacked on. It was just a really great game.
Blast. That's what
it was just a great game. I mean, it looked great. It was a cool story. It played fantastically. So I completely and wholeheartedly support our pick for first person shooter of the year.
And lots of jib.
Anyone you vote say otherwise?
It's hard sometimes to get behind first-person shooters like that with a story because they still have that mechanic of cross this line and enemies will constantly appear, cross that line, and enemies will stop. The fact that we're still not past that's a little annoying at times. That's why I usually stick with FPS games that are just strictly multiplayer like Titanfall, even though it forced a crappy story.
I embrace that line because I love playing on hard
there's some games that do
difficulties.
try and hide it. Say like Call of Duty tries to hide that fact, but Wolfenstein didn't. It was all and out a kind of not so much a pastiche, but it was definitely trying to hark back to its roots, you know. And I don't.
Maybe it's because I didn't play the other Wolfenstein games, so I didn't appreciate it as much.
Yeah, but you don't have had to have played the like original Wolfenstein games. I mean, most people have played Doom or at least know what Doom's about, so they're roughly the same game.
Any game where you can dual wield assault rifles the size of your torso.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it's anyone ever played Serious Sam,
Yeah.
that's what it felt like to me. It felt like Serious Sam, but with Nazis and better graphics. It was just so much fun to play for me, anyway. But
Justin, I know you're not much of a shooter fan. Do you have anything to weigh in on this, or?
I'm surprised you didn't pick Master Chief. That didn't get your vote.
No, well, here's and I'll briefly explain this because the staff obviously knows how much I did enjoy the game before it went public. Okay, let's keep that disclaimer in there. I did give Master Chief Collection a perfect score because when I played it in the review period, it was perfect. Unfortunately, upon its release, 343 just completely shit the bed, and I still don't think it functions, at least the multiplayer matchmaking. So I have excluded Halo MCC from any of my votes. If it did not release as a pile of mess, the multiplayer, it would have been my personal game of the year. Yes, that is correct.
it kind of means that Microsoft and Sony are level pegging on shitty exclusive releases.
Yeah, it was sad because that is a beautifully remastered package, and it's easily the best Halo compilation you can ever get. But
though, the value you're getting was just unbelievable.
It's still ridiculous, but I cannot justify giving it an award with it still being broken 3.5 weeks later or whatever. It's tough. I mean, trust me, it hurts because it was the only game I gave a perfect score this year. So yes.
You gave Game of Thrones 100 as well.
Oh yeah, that definitely earned it.
I read everything.
I mean, has Destiny kind of fallen off for everyone too?
Destiny, I played the alpha, I played the beta. That was enough for me.
Because it's all the same fucking shit.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, I agree, but Destiny is obviously a player in the industry now because, I mean, it's a hot button topic anytime it's brought up, and tons of people play the shit out of it. I mean, I know, Benson's, you probably remember him, but Hank the Gank, the dude literally can't stop playing the game. I mean, he does the same shit over and over.
Yeah, same with Chaos. He's only just stopped playing it.
And there people do get into that grinding to get that exotic armor. I can't do the same shit over and over without guaranteeing that I'm going to get something worth grinding over.
Was there any love for Titanfall or just me?
No.
Yeah, there's just one entry for Titanfall, man.
I think I voted something for Titanfall.
Yeah, Wolfenstein won in a landslide. I mean, this was the most clear category we had as far as a winner goes. I mean, trust me, I really did like Titanfall. I think it suffered from the hype train behind it because it was so pumped up, and then it came out, and everyone's like, "Fucking A!" And they're like, "Oh, it really is just multiplayer over and over and over again. There's nothing else to do." But like you said, for people that love just multiplayer, it's probably a fantastic game.
I thought it was great because it actually changed up the whole first-person shooter aspect of things and combined shooting with parkour, so that stood out a little bit more to me than, say, Call of Duty Ghosts, which I was still playing at the time and getting a little bored with. This, switched things up a little bit for me.
Fair assessment. I mean, it definitely sold well, and people still play it. I think as an overall, the best first-person shooter of the year, didn't do it for me. So, any other comments on our first-person pick? Are we somewhat happy with that one?
Yeah, I haven't actually gotten around to play Wolfenstein yet. That being said, like I got super into the whole aesthetic or like the design and that whole neo-Nazi future thing when we were at PAX.
Yeah, alternate history.
Yeah, when Matt and I were up in Boston for PAX East, like Bethesda was pimping Wolfenstein, and we got to see this.
Oh, that party was fucking badass.
Like, I don't even know how to, like a German 60s cover band, and it was like the
it was like a retro German band
of my life.
Yeah. The singer looked like Andy Warhol.
It was amazing.
I mean, it was
kudos to Bethesda, I guess, for
that kind of like
spending a lot of money.
Seeps through in the game as well, doesn't it? So you can actually listen to songs of like.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get that soundtrack just after hearing them play.
Yeah.
So.
That's definitely a game that if it ever pops up on PS Plus or Games with Gold, get it. If it ever drops to a reasonable price, get it. I mean, I would pay whatever it costs now. I mean, it's a great game. So moving on. We went from first-person shooter, now we're going to third-person shooter. For those of you that don't know what the hell that is, that's when you can see your little character and not just the guns and hands.
Second person.
Sunset Overdrive.
Ding, 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 ding.
Anne is spot on. That is the winner for third-person shooter, and I concur. It was a new IP.
That game is fun as hell.
It was a new take on a third-person shooter. I mean, this is not a game where you just get on the ground and shoot. You have to be up in the air, jumping around, grinding on shit. So it was definitely had some innovation to it. And if you can get over the loudness of the visuals, I actually think it's a solid game with a entertaining campaign. I mean, it's kind of like a Saints Row. So if you like the tone of Saints Row, you should like Sunset Overdrive. So thoughts, everyone?
I haven't played it.
Worth every hour I put in it.
David, you're a big fan then?
Yeah, I loved how it incorporated multiplayer into a game like that so seamlessly by just spreading those little booths around that you could just jump into. They could have easily just tacked it on backhandedly, but instead they made it feel like a really powerful part of the game. And then switching between the modes by just racing through the city to get to them was really fun. I lost like 6-7 hours on it as soon as I got the game and didn't even realize it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those games where once you get the new controls down, you learn how to do the grinding and jumping very efficiently. You can definitely go and go and go until, your eyes start to bleed.
What's your, I like how high the kill streak can go. I think I got like 400 at one point. I mean, it was just ridiculous, just grinding back and forth.
Yeah. Some of the combos you can get going are pretty intense. So I did enjoy it. I think it is a fun game. It's definitely a win for Microsoft getting Insomniac to make an exclusive for them. So will it remain exclusive? Who knows? But it's definitely worth picking up if you have an Xbox
Is there a chance of that going multi-plat?
Well, I mean, with money, there's a chance for everything. Yeah. I mean, Mass Effect was never supposed to go multi, and it ended up going multi. So you never know. You never know.
I didn't even think about that. I never considered that. So
the funny thing is, Sony is finally getting into the game. I mean, Microsoft kind of invented the console exclusive deals or multiplayer deals, and now Sony's kind of getting on that, mainly with Destiny. But what's the other one they just did? There's a game coming out where I know Sony's getting preferential treatment, but
probably Batman.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, there you go. Street Fighter.
Yeah, we got Street Fighter. What up?
Wii. Look at Ray's playing Team PS4.
The royal Wii.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. All right. So any other thoughts on third person? I mean, anyone unhappy with the pick?
I didn't play Sunset, so I watched and I think I might have watched Anna play it too. I don't know. I watched staff members play it, and it looked pretty fun. I wish it was Jet Set Radio.
It was fairly clear winner. Someone put Watch Dogs.
What?
Hey. Yeah.
Who the fuck put Watch Dogs?
What?
I'll discern who it
I'm going to
was.
disagree on that one.
Honestly, someone put Sniper Elite 3. That was the first time I ever played a Sniper Elite game, and outside it having like really fucked up choppy visuals, it is kind of neat watching
Sniper Elite
bullets
3.
go into people.
Simply
Yeah,
because it's Nazis, and the formula is exactly the same. Shoot a gun, watch the bullet rip through flesh, flesh and bone, and
yeah, dude, and they like ragdoll over.
it's
You
awesome.
can shoot them in.
Yeah.
You shoot them in the ass, and they're like.
You can actually shoot someone's balls off. Do you know that?
Oh
You
yeah,
can actually watch it
bollocks
cuts
off.
off the testicle. It's brilliant.
Wow.
Ooh.
yeah.
Thought it was more fun to watch than it was to play, though. Is my only problem.
It does get repetitive.
I like-
there's no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt it does get repetitive, but I still love it.
I need to beat it. By the way, that's another one that got kind of cast to the wayside once the fall hit. All right, so it sounds good for third person shooter. Next up, we have a very contentious category, and this is our fighting / sports game of the year.
Just say fighting game. Come on.
We had all sorts of conversations over what to call this category, and this is the new classification. So I can tell you it's still basically a fighting game. I mean, it came down to a tie.
Super Smash Brothers.
That was one of them.
NFL insert any year here was definitely my pick.
It was actually Super Smash Bros. And Persona 4 Arena tied. So this is our first tie. So how do we want to? I guess we'll take a vote to break it here as the group on the cast. My vote. I haven't played either.
Yeah, me neither. I'm gonna have to abstain.
My vote's kind of useless. I mean, I did touch Super Smash at E3, but I really didn't do shit with it. So I'm just gonna go with Super Smash. So that's my vote.
Persona 4.
Super Smash.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Super Smash.
See,
It's 3-2. So Benson can
Benson, it's all down to you.
because like I feel bad because I haven't played Super Smash and I haven't played Persona, and I kind of feel like you went for Super Smash, so surely I should go for Persona to even out the. So
Yeah.
we'll have to go
That
with
defeats the
Persona.
purpose.
So we're at a stalemate.
All right. Well, I run the site, so it's Super Smash Brothers.
Why even bother asking for a vote?
we just went. I just went all dictator on your asses.
This is a Buddha-tatorship, not a Buddha-mocracy.
Yeah. Yeah, get with it. I like
Thanks, Rick.
Right.
Those are great terms. Those are great terms, Anna.
I just want to shout out and say my pick was Nidhogg, and if you haven't played Nidhogg, play.
Yeah, shout outs to Nidhogg because that game rules pretty hard. We should play that. We should all just play that one night together, or like, I guess, however we'd be. It's only 2-player.
Yeah, we need to get a little tourney going.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't even know what the fuck that game is.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Such good fun.
I know I have at least 10 copies of it on various consoles through free this or free that. but
Yeah,
never
you'd like it.
bothered
It's
to
cool.
Check it out. Yeah, I think those two games are legit as winners, and Super Smash, why not? I mean, let's give Nintendo a little bit of love this year because they need it sometimes. So let's move on to the next. This is more of a sports type of category, but a racing game of the year.
Mario Kart.
It's going to be Mario Kart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty clear winner as well for this category. Some of the other ones were Forza Horizon 2. There's one Crew and one Drive Club. So it was really Mario Kart, then Forza, and then those other two. But Mario Kart 8, I know, Justin, you did the review for us, so if you want to talk on it at all, I mean, it's Mario Kart. I mean, what else is there to say?
I mean, if anything, that came out a couple of months before Smash Brothers, so that was one of the big reasons to go out and buy a Wii U if you didn't already. And
yeah, it sold. What did it do? It shifted 300,000 consoles or something?
Yeah, I mean, it made it to 1 million sales in no time flat, and unlike, games from Ubisoft and other places. It came out, it was completely ready to play, no bugs, great multiplayer. Then they came out with DLC recently. They're coming out with another patch with more tracks, so you can add up to like 16 more tracks by paying an extra $12.
Dude, I would want the Excitebike track right there. I mean, that's the only one to own.
The best one was actually the Zelda one because they changed all the coins to rupees.
Yeah,
that was like they mixed it up a little bit, so it's not the same thing.
Then you get Link sitting on some sort of bastardized version of his horse, Epona, like a motorcycle version of the horse.
Oh, I don't know Link's in there. It's cool that they're adding extra characters in.
Yeah, because he's never been in a Mario Kart. Usually the Mario Kart racers are fairly the same through each iteration. So
yeah, and then they went through this big thing where they had all the baby versions, and then this year was the Koopa Kids. And
I want to raise a point about Mario Kart, and that's they've kind of gone away from the battle mode thing, like the original Mario Kart and the N64.
Yeah, the battle
Mario
mode
Kart.
on Super Nintendo. No, the Super Nintendo, brother. That's the original.
Well, battle mode had to be patched in for this one. They didn't even have it in the original release, and that was in an update.
But
patch.
is it proper battle mode, or is it because like battle mode on the SNES was an arena,
3 balloons on your car, right?
It was an arena, 3 balloons. Same with the N64. It was an arena. You had the balloons, but I think now the battle mode is you race around a track rather than having a specific arena. Or am I wrong? I mean, I don't know because I haven't played it, but.
Yeah, it's tracks.
It's tracks. So I don't know why Nintendo are moving away from that because I thought the arenas were brilliant. That's the whole point of battle mode was.
Oh no, I mean you're dead on. I mean the racing to me against 3 other people is always the best Mario Kart experience. But in those old games in the arena, if you had just 2 of you, that it was fun as fuck. Sitting there trying to angle turtle shells off of the walls to hit their balloons and this, that, and the other thing. So it's definitely a fun component to the Mario Kart franchise. But I mean, Mario Kart 8 is great. Like Justin said, Nintendo may not shake the video game world up much, but they don't really get in the press for bad news, being broken games, games that glitch out all the time, games you can't play, so on and so forth. So kudos to Nintendo. They're 2 for 2. They got the fighting game and the racing game. Any other thoughts on the racers here, people?
Mario for the win.
All right.
Anna, do you still play it?
Not as much because you don't want to see my backlog. You just, it's embarrassing. So,
Yeah, my backlog, and I'm not fucking around trying to be cute here. I literally get stressed out over it. I mean, I'll sit up at night. Like last night when I beat Dragon Age, I sat there for 15 minutes contemplating in my head, man, what am I going to do next? Oh, yeah, that's right. I got 4 fucking games to review that I didn't ask to review. So I guess I'll be playing those. I just want to play Dragon Age.
I still didn't take Mordor out of the wrapping. It took 2 weeks to get here, but now it's still just sitting there in the wrapping.
I have Far Cry 4 in the wrapping, Metro Redux in the wrapping, The Last of Us Remastered in the wrapping, and GTA 5 in my download queue. So,
oh, you got a physical copy of Last of Us?
Yeah, I know. I'm old school like that.
That's old school.
After getting Unity digitally, I will never go digital again because I cannot fucking return the damn thing.
And David, I think a lot of people are going, I think developers and publishers want people to buy digitally because it cut costs for their manufacturing. But I think your sentiment is shared amongst a lot of gamers because there is that secondhand market for traditional games.
The thing is, right, with digital games is that they charge a fucking premium for them, yet there is no fucking value in them whatsoever. At least with a physical disc, yeah, I'm paying the same price, I'm paying 40 fucking quid. But at least I can then get some money back off of that and trade it in if I want to.
Even if I didn't want to trade it in, I prefer having a physical copy over a digital copy because I actually have that shiny new case to show off and I can add it to my collection. If, I can't do that if I have a digital copy, just sitting on my hard drive.
Mate, I'm all about that. That's why I've got a vinyl collection and not, I've got an MP3 collection as well, but I've got a vinyl collection because I love vinyl. I love the big artwork. I love having something physical in my hands. And it's the same with games, like when not so much anymore, but when I was a kid, I used to love opening the box up and reading the manual.
Yeah, games had manuals back
Yo.
then.
Yeah, and we've mentioned this before.
They didn't have those tutorial missions that try to teach you how to control it and all that. You actually had to read how to play
You went
it.
for a shit. You read the manual whilst having a crap. You went downstairs and you
Or played Tiny Death Star.
I used to love going down to Blockbuster or Game Crazy or whatever and rent out a game, but keep the manual when I returned it. So I still have this huge stack of game manuals from when I was like 10. It's terrible.
Dude, you are.
You were that guy?
Hey, guess what? So was I.
I worked
You
at
and Ray, that's why when I would go to get mine, there'd be fucking Xerox copies of the manual.
I worked at Blockbuster and I hated you motherfuckers for doing that shit. Because
Anna was the one Xeroxing off the shit, the stuff back in the box.
I never made copies, but I'm like, what the fuck? Like, really, people? Come on. You keep the damn game then at that point. Don't
I
bring
think
it
like
back.
5 or 6 copies of the Final Fantasy VII instruction manual. I only have 2 copies of the game, but I don't know.
You could probably sell that instruction manual for like a lot of money.
He has an eBay account with like 100 listings for game manuals for like Adventures of Bayou Billy. And
like seriously, you could
Bayou
probably make a
Billy,
pretty
nice
penny.
one. Bayou Billy, I mean, that was a classic Konami game from back in the day. All right, so moving on, and this is definitely an odd one here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Matt, do you see my notes?
Because the team picked it, but for best visuals of the year, our esteemed staff of writers picked Destiny.
I didn't vote for Destiny. I don't
see here. I'll fess up. I did that, and here's why.
What?
Well, I just got a PlayStation 4. And I've been playing Wii U, and clearly nothing on the Wii U was going to win.
On.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, the splashiest Wii U game that I played was Mario Kart, which looked good, but it wasn't. It's not up to speed with them.
We're not. You don't have to justify yourself. We're just being dickheads.
But
we're being gamers. We're shitting on your opinion because it's not ours. There were other games this year that are definitely better looking than Destiny. It's not a shitty looking game whatsoever. I mean, it has great color palettes. All the worlds are different looking, even though you do them 5,000 fucking times over and over again.
It's got great sky boxes, or space boxes, I guess we should call it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it does look nice. I think there were some other games. I mean, Infamous Second Son is one that stands out. This is a good one on here. Someone put AC Unity.
For the record, it did have good graphics when they actually wanted to load it.
I think I put that in only because of how good they got Paris to look. I mean, like Paris, like visually, they did a fantastic job, and I'm just gonna stop there because my blood pressure is starting to rise.
All I can say with our pick,
and at least you get the time to appreciate it because it's only running at like 15 frames per second. So you get that extra.
Hey, the best part about this pick is that it will surely cause some comments on N4G telling us how fucking stupid and incompetent we are as a website. So I'm all for that.
Matt's stop motion movie had more frames per second than that.
Wow.
I love Destiny's graphics, but I just wanted more of them. I got bored exploring the worlds after a while, and the damn tower was just fucking pissing me off. If they would just give me a bigger universe to explore and DLC, maybe.
See, I chose.
I think we're gonna.
I was about to say that my pick was Drive Club because even before the weather update, it was a really good looking game. The environments are something else. Like when you actually get the chance to look at everything that's around the tracks. The lighting is superb. The textures and the detailing is fucking phenomenal. But they just released that weather update, and it's unbelievable. Honest to God, I might have to upload some pictures or just go online and have a look. You will not believe your eyeballs and how good that game looks. The level of detail that they've gone into is.
Am I going to be able to get that game for free, or did I miss that?
I think it's going to be January or February.
I think Sony's hoping we all forget about that offer.
I'm trying to go racing with my bros, dude.
It's a shame because like the game itself, before the update, I was fucking fuming. I was absolutely fuming. I hated it. I bought it. I paid full price. I couldn't wait to get it home, and it was just a broken pile of shit. I was absolutely fuming to the point that I was going to take it back and get a refund. But I didn't. I thought, I'll leave it. I'll let them fix it. And it just sat on my shelf and I forgot about it and GTA came out and I just got into GTA and
First person hooker stabbing.
well, I was having a blast with GTA, and then the weather update happened, and I was like, yeah, I'll stick it in, I'll give it a go, see what's going on, and I've been playing it ever since. It's such a good
I have
game.
so many games to get to. I fucking hate my life.
Yeah.
If we would have had Arkham Knight, that would have gotten my pick, but here we are. So,
again, that goes back to our thoughts on 2014. That was a game that was supposed to come out, and now it's not. Just like The Witcher.
Evolve.
But you know what?
Yep,
I'm glad
evolve.
that they are coming out in 2015 and they didn't try to rush it and do a shitty job like Assassin's Creed, and I'm going to shut up.
Well, knock on wood.
Yeah. Ubisoft are turning into EA.
Ooh, this.
They are.
What if, though, Ubisoft is actually intentionally doing this so that they can become the bad guys, so that every other game
This isn't
looks
wrestling,
great by
right?
comparison?
Hey, man, yeah.
They're doing the Dark
They're the
Knight thing
heels.
for us. Like,
It's free PR, if anything. I mean, everyone knows about Ubisoft's games that come out,
and
some
the Far
may be
Cry
inclined
team
to
is
check them
super
out.
good. Like, whatever team they have on that, kudos to those dudes, because
Well, I mean, that's not a franchise they vomit out every year either. I mean, there was at least a 2-year delay, I think, from Far Cry 3 to this
Yeah.
one. So,
Assassin's
all right,
Creed
moving on
sucks.
to the next category. Best writing of the year. And this one we have a 3-way tie. So we have to decide between Dragon Age Inquisition, South Park, The Stick of Truth, and The Wolf Among Us.
Oh.
I vote South Park because I think that's what I voted.
All right, so we got 1 for South Park,
Yeah, South Park, just because
2 for South Park,
Dragon Age.
1 for Dragon Age,
South Park.
South Park,
The Wolf.
Wolf. I would almost give you that one, but I'm going South Park too. I think South Park, just the humor and the insanity that they wove into that game is just out of this world. So yes, South Park is the winner. Do.
Oh man, the thing with South Park is that it does borrow so much from the episodes, and that it kind of annoys me because it's like, well, it's already written for them. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I'll be honest, this is another one where I just forgot that Wolf Among Us came out, because I probably would have picked that too, because I had no previous introduction to that franchise whatsoever.
same
I had
with
no
me.
clue what the fuck Fables were. I mean, I know what Fables are. I didn't know the series, the guy who created them,
Yeah.
the characters, but it was fantastic. I mean, it's Telltale. I mean, it's not like it's a big surprise that they made a great story-driven game.
they're gonna do that to Minecraft.
oh my fucking god,
That
not
is
talk about that.
I honestly thought that was April Fool's, because people were tweeting about it, and then when we got the press release, I was like, what the fuck?
That's bullshit, man.
Hey man, if they can give Minecraft a story, then that just proves they're the greatest story.
But the thing with
writers in
Minecraft is
games.
that its story is made by the people that play it. You know.
Well, I mean, Notch bought into it, and that guy fucking hates everything. So if he's on board, then
Except-
I guess
He fucking loves
Yeah.
Microsoft
bad.
now, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves $2.5 billion. That's for sure.
but he still hates Facebook.
So do
All
I.
right, so that was a good choice for best writing of the year is our South Park. We have another tie in the next category, which is best soundtrack of the year. So to me, a soundtrack is everything from the Foley sounds, the sound design, to the actual music. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah, I'm glad
Yep.
you said
Okay.
that.
All right. Yeah, it's not just the score.
I
if you
normally
will.
just, when I think soundtrack, I think the like OST score kind of stuff. But I will, now I understand why it's a tie in with the respective
okay.
tie things. So yeah.
Our ties are between Alien Isolation and Transistor. So let's get the vote here, everyone.
Isolation.
2 for Isolation,
Transistor.
1 for Transistor.
I say Transistor because I haven't played Isolation, but taking into account all like the sound stuff that we're talking about with like sound design, I think my vote would be swayed had I played the other one. So
Okay, so we're tied right now. Justin, what do you think?
Well, I haven't played either, so I'm going to be the unbiased party. I mean, to me, it seems like Isolation does a better job of painting the atmosphere. I mean, does Transistor do the same thing, or is just Transistor a good soundtrack with good?
both,
both.
like sound is pretty integral to Supergiant's games that they come out with. Like Bastion wouldn't be Bastion without the score and the great music and all that. I don't know. They're both good. Like,
I mean, that's fine. Justin could abstain. I still have my vote.
Justin, he broke it down well.
Yeah, my vote goes for Alien Isolation, so it is the winner. Suck it, bitches.
This is super. Why did I even make this Google form?
I'm like Buddha Hitler here.
Seriously.
I think
no, but I mean,
it's a good pick,
I guess I should have been clear on what a soundtrack is.
Yeah.
Ray and I I mean, you gotta understand, we're entertainmentbuddha.com. We do shit on the fly because we're players like that. And Ray and I'm like, hey man, we should probably do something. He's like, all right. He whipped up a form and it is what it is. But to me, the soundtrack is everything. So I don't think you can beat Alien Isolation because that makes the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the sound
even
alone
said
can
that
get your nipples hard or make you feel like you're going to die.
I think you was doing the review and I'd also got it. And I came on Skype after about an hour of playing it, hour and a half of playing it. And I was just like, I'm a fucking god that has the best audio I've ever heard in a game. It was just
it was a game where I did not want to wear headphones because it made it that much worse. When experience in a good way.
Much to the atmosphere. It was superb.
Yeah, I wish novice mode was out when I played it because that's right up my alley.
Pussy.
Man, that game was the shit. Maybe
played that game like I played Silent Hill for the first time, like controller 2 inches from my face, ready to run and hide in any possible area I could if I heard anything move.
Oh, dude! Did you not get anxious every time you went to play it? Like every night you go to play it. I mean, you knew it was a good game, but it was almost like, fuck, I don't want to put myself through this shit again.
Do you know what?
Exactly.
For me,
So
I really want to play it.
So I streamed it. Like I hadn't played it, so I decided, well, because I hadn't played it, let me go ahead and stream it. And I probably only streamed for like 40 minutes, but I was freaking out. And then because people were chatting and they were like typing and stuff, I would jump because I would see the text pop up and I'm like, oh, okay, that's just someone like, oh, go over there, like do this, or like I'm just talking and like something would fall and I was like, ah! And then I'm like, oh, sorry. And then people are like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then by the time I finished playing, like my body was so tense and I was so sore that I had to just kind of think really happy thoughts because I couldn't even get up. And I stopped like at the part where you know, like you see, you don't even see the Xeno. You just know that it's already been introduced.
Yeah, and that's
like,
the
that's
beauty
it.
of the
I
sound
stopped.
and the lighting. I mean, that game is just,
Yeah.
I dislike stealth games. I dislike survival horror, but I love that game. So
Yeah, so I haven't even gone back to it, and just like you said, like you think about playing it and you get really anxious, and just thinking about it now, like my body is starting to tense up, and I will probably play like 20 minutes of that game and then I'll have to stop and continue on because I can't. It's gonna be like Dead Space all over again, where it took me like a year and a half to finish the game.
It's a good family game played over the holidays.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next category here, which is Best Voice Acting of the Year. This is also a tie. It's between 2 games, not 3. The games are Dragon Age Inquisition. There are a shit ton of characters in there. And Far Cry 4.
Far Cry 4.
All right, we got 1 for Far Cry.
I'm going to have to go with Dragon Age because I haven't played Far Cry.
Okay, 1 and 1.
Far Cry, Dragon Age's voice acting is awful.
2 and 1.
Dragon Age.
2-2.
What about the fonts, Ray? The fonts of the text.
Yeah, dude. If you want to have our own little podcast, I'll talk about that game for like 7 hours. And
I'll just gradually pull the volume fader down.
No, yeah, I mean, Ray could write a dissertation on Dragon Age Inquisition.
I have 2 started in Word right now. I'm just never going to finish them because I just get so... I spend 60 hours writing about how much I think the game's not that great.
All right, so I think we're at a tie, so it's up to me.
Oh.
And considering I've only seen trailers for Far Cry 4... and just the amount of characters in Dragon Age Inquisition, they all have unique voices.
But are any of the voices good?
But
There's a bunch of French people.
Yeah, but you didn't even have any French people. They were all fucking English. They're all Cockney.
Yeah, I mean, the whole area of Orlais is like France. So, I mean, they had like all sorts of languages going on. Yeah, Dragon Age Inquisition wins.
So this wasn't like a voice like actor. It's just like voices all together.
Yeah, see, that's why I put.
But Anna, you know what? You're right. Troy Baker in everything is the correct answer.
Right.
That's why I put an actor.
I knew that was
Adam
you.
Harrington.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize
Troy
we were going
Baker's
for
the best.
Who's the other guy? Nathan
Nolan.
or whatever? Yeah,
Nolan.
Nolan North.
All right, well, they'll get a special mention, but I think as a game goes, we're going to settle on Dragon Age. And I'm watching Ray move the cursor here on the spreadsheet.
You can see my cursor move?
Oh, yeah, I can see what you're doing. He's probably going to say, go fuck yourself, asshole. No, I mean, seriously, though, Dragon Age, just for its size and all the different characters, sure, it wins. Yes, go fuck yourself, asshole. That won the award for best new IP of the year. So we can skip over that.
No, there's a winky face
Is that
in there.
multi-platform?
All right, so moving on, best new IP of the year. So this had to be a brand new franchise. None of the Assassin's Creeds, Far Cry, so on and so forth.
Shadow.
We have a clear winner.
Mordor.
It is Respawn's Titanfall.
Ooh.
So Titanfall takes best new IP of the year. Other games on the list were Shadow, Sunset, This War of Mine, and Destiny. But Titanfall won with... I put This War of Mine. I'll throw that one out there. So Titanfall takes the cake. Thoughts on best new IP?
I'm glad that we remembered it.
Yeah.
I really
this
started
long.
playing a lot of Titanfall a bit late, and I did the same thing with Battlefield 3 where I waited till all the DLCs came out first before I actually, dived into it a lot more. So when I got into Titanfall, I was like, this game is awesome, but where the hell is everyone? I mean, there's almost no one playing it anymore. I think like 3,000 to 5,000 people on right now. It's still great. It just needs more people to actually fill out all the servers again.
Did you get that for Xbox or PC?
Xbox One.
So that's surprising, actually. I would have thought there'd have been more players on Xbox One.
Well, I mean, it goes up and down, but it usually stays at around or under 5,000. There's just, not enough people to keep most of the main modes going.
For what? For Battlefield or Titanfall?
Titanfall.
Holy shit, it's that dead.
I want to go on the record and say, look through our Skype chats from earlier this year. I called it.
Yeah.
I told you all that.
I remember saying in the podcast.
I think you did a post on it.
I did before it came out. I said that this was going to happen. Because
there just doesn't seem to be a solid reason why people stop playing it. I mean, Counter-Strike is only multiplayer, and there's still thousands of people all over that game.
Because it was repetitive, and I think Respawn waited too long to add new content. I mean, it was what, 3 months ago when they started coming out with the updates and the new playlists.
I think they fucked up when they, for an April Fool's, did the Optimus Prime thing.
Oh, that was badass.
and then it was like, April Fools. And it's just like, you fucking dicks. Do you know?
David brings up a good point, though, and I think there's an answer for that. The PC community, because of modding and whatnot, is why games like that live on well past their expiration date, at least in my opinion. I think with consoles, I mean, you get what you get. I mean, you get what the developer gives you. You can't really change anything. So.
Also, another thing with Counter-Strike is, and I don't play Counter-Strike, but my girlfriend does, but it's a very, very, like, the rules of the game are so simple. And I think that's what gives it its staying power. Because
I mean, Titanfall's pretty straightforward, though. I mean, some people say there's.
I don't know.
Guns,
look at the movement. Look at the kind of movement options and the fact that you can be on the ground or you can be in a mech.
Yeah, I think he's talking about just the straight up controls and that you're on the ground and you're shooting. Yeah, I mean, you're flanking people. You're not jumping up and down and.
You think with Counter-Strike, you choose your weapon, you go off, and you, depending on what mission you're doing, you do your objective or you defuse a bomb. Then the round's over really, really quickly. For the most part, and then you do it again and again and again to best of 10.
With Titanfall, one of the reasons people were saying they didn't like it was because of the AI characters they use to fill the maps, because they're just so huge. I mean, there'd be times where I jump into a match and be like, oh man, I'm kicking ass and this is awesome. Yeah. And then I check the scoreboard and it was all AI grunts I'd been killing. And if it wasn't that if there was some smaller maps, like where it was just people instead of AI, maybe we'd done a little bit better. I mean, they tried doing that a little bit with one of the modes, doing 6-on-6, but there's not enough people playing it.
I think that helped. I think with the whole bots thing, that didn't help with its image from the outside as well. I think a lot of people, when they found out there were bots in the multiplayer, was like, hang on a minute, this is supposed to be a fucking next-gen title, and I'm playing against bots. I think that's...
It's the same way like in Gears of War. Like if there weren't enough people... bots, you were playing against bots until people joined.
I think with Gears though, you weren't promised like the next generation. Do you know what I mean? Like with Titanfall, it was built up to be this next generation of shooters. It's going to change.
I mean, Titanfall,
everything.
the bots are baked into every match, regardless of human players or not. I mean, they're part of the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
All right. Well, it still won our best new IP of the year. So moving on, best handheld title of the year. We have a clear winner here, and it's Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS. Makes sense to me, even though I didn't play it. But as far as handheld goes, I think that Bravely Default. I think people make a good case for that. But Super Smash definitely clearly won that.
I only voted for Super Smash because I've played it. I haven't played Bravely Default, but like my husband is over the moon for that game. But
your husband's got good tastes.
He's like all about Nintendo though. Like he's Nintendo boy, so he's always on his 3DS, and I mean he always takes it everywhere for street passes. So yeah,
I have gotten addicted to that by going to all these video game shows and whatnot because you get a shitload of them.
Mm-hmm.
I have Iwata and Reggie Fills a Mech on mine.
Yeah, I have a few Nintendo people, but I mean you get those even if you don't go anywhere. It's just like, oh, here we go.
Reggie Fills a Mech. All right, so I really have nothing to add there. Does anyone else have anything for best handheld?
Nope.
All right, cool. So now we're moving into the best brand exclusives. We're going to start with the best Sony exclusive, which had a clear winner in, any guesses?
Infamous?
Yep, Infamous Second Son was definitely the big winner there. The one behind it was Last of Us Remastered. And then I'm going to call him out just because I know it's him. Raymond put Freedom Wars for the Vita, which I'm staring at right now on my desk.
I think Second Son was pretty crappy.
I haven't played it yet.
I didn't like it.
No.
I hate Delson. I think he's the worst.
Yeah,
ever.
I didn't. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it.
I picked it because there really wasn't many exclusives to choose from.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think I put in like NA or something. I didn't pick anything.
No, I put Last of Us.
All right.
The only reason I didn't choose Last of Us is because it's technically a game that came out last year. So.
Yeah. No.
Same reason why I didn't, put Master Chief Collection for some of the spots. It's technically a bunch of games that came out years ago.
Yeah, hey, like I said, this is kind of on a whim. I don't really mind the remasters being considered because they did.
Thing is, if you take away the remasters, then you've only got roughly 50% of the games released this year.
Yeah,
remasters.
Nintendo actually has released the most exclusives. If we want to get down to it.
Yeah.
So that's our Sony pick. Any complaints, comments, reactions?
Nope.
All right, me neither.
Yeah.
So best Microsoft exclusive of the year, we have a 3-way tie.
Sunset Overdrive.
The one I think I'm going to eliminate, although you could technically count it, and that's Titanfall because it came out for PC, even though Microsoft essentially is PC.
But it's not an exclusive though.
Halo would be one of them.
All right, so we have Titanfall, Halo, and Sunset.
I go with Sunset Overdrive because it's something brand new. It's not remastered.
All right, Sunset. 2 Sunsets.
I abstain.
I'm abstaining because fuck Microsoft.
Yeah, right.
I knew that was coming. Justin, anything?
I'd still pick Titanfall.
Okay.
Or Halo. I do like a lot of the things that Sunset Overdrive does.
He picks a third of each.
Yes, so he's disqualified. So Sunset Overdrive wins that one. Like I said, I did my long-winded reason on why I can't include Halo MCC in anything, even though it probably should win this, but I can't do it. So
you voted for it.
No, I think I put Sunset. Actually, who gives a shit? Sunset Overdrive wins.
Right, because you give the final say anyway.
The winner.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it really was a fun game, very different, new IP, different take on third-person shooter. So sure, good for you, Insomniac Games and Microsoft Studios. Now moving on to the granddaddy of gaming, that is Nintendo, their best exclusive of the year, and we did have a clear winner.
Mario Kart.
Wrong.
It's gonna be
Captain
Smash.
Toad.
It's Super Smash.
Oh,
Justin, I just like
Shoutouts to Captain Toad.
someone. Yeah, hey Benson's, you got to sample Justin's Captain Toad because he said it a couple times now and it's perfect. Captain Toad. That's Super Smash wins that one. I mean, I haven't played one Nintendo game this year besides Mario Kart 8, so.
I voted for Super Smash Brothers as well, but just a shout out to Bayonetta 2 as an exclusive on Nintendo console, it just completely blew my mind. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I still don't know how they locked that down
because no one else wanted to take the chance on it.
Was the first one that
didn't
big of a gamble? I mean, did it just not do well at retail or what?
Dude, it's a platinum game. Like everything they do is a gamble in some respects. It's very left of center, and first Bayo didn't move a lot of units, so I think the fact that they were making Bayo 2 was questionable for a lot of people, and then I guess everyone else passed on it.
It just does not seem to fit Nintendo's mantra whatsoever. I mean, we're talking about, she's essentially a fully nude woman that is clothed with her hair, and she kills fucking demons and shit.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I would never. I wouldn't go with it. I've seen enough of it to make me fucking sick, to be honest with you.
All right.
But,
some people were joking online about Bayonetta being a possible DLC for Super Smash, and that would just make the game 10 times better for me.
She would win, but she'd win by default. Like, she's the best. Like she
has high heel guns. I mean, like I said, her hair is her weapon and her clothes. I mean, but
her hair's a weapon. I thought it was her ass and her tits because that's what the camera seems to.
Frig off.
Yes, she has superpower titties.
I didn't even know she had guns.
And a bodacious bum that they just stare at and die.
Yeah.
Is that like the fembots?
Machine gun jubblies.
Yeah. All right, so some controversy there, but I mean, based on the votes, Super Smash takes the cake. So it's won multiple awards.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer win there.
All right, so moving on. Best.
I think Matt got hacked, so that's why he picked Super Smash instead of Captain Toad.
Captain Toad.
We can blame somebody for
Captain
this.
Toad. I could say that all night long. Okay, best character of the year. And we had a clear winner.
Luigi!
Yeah. Wasn't last year the year Luigi?
No.
The year never
Luigi,
ends.
Mario Kart. His death
Luigi's death stare. There were all sorts of memes on that.
Come on.
Right. Now, anyone want to take a guess at who it could have been?
I have no idea.
Someone from the Himalayas.
Yes, sir. It's motherfucker.
Was it Daryl Reedus and PT?
Do you know, I think there was an outlet that voted PT as one of their best games of the year.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Kotaku, and the article was like, "My game of the year isn't a game at all." It's like,
no, the winner is Pagan Min from Far Cry 4.
Nah.
I voted for Shovel Knight because he was the best character of the year easily.
I put literally, I remember my answer. It's dude from Wolfenstein.
Oh, yeah.
BJ Blazkowicz.
I forgot BJ's name.
Blazkowicz.
Yeah, but there's another good one there. The alien from Alien Isolation. That was a good pick.
Yeah, that was me.
But
I picked Pagan because he was such a solid character. The voice acting was great, and for me, he was what actually made the story actually gripping and gritty. I mean, I don't mean to be a cop-in because you don't really get to see him much.
No, I mean he won clearly, so you're not the only one that enjoyed him. And from what I've seen in the trailers, he seems like a cool character. So
Is he as good as Vass?
I think
3.
Jim, and like I think I have like 5 or 6 hours into Far Cry at this point over the last couple of days. I think he's cooler than Voss.
Really? Yeah.
There's some swagger to him. Like Voss was just like kind of nutty.
yeah, he's fucking mental.
Criminally insane, if you will. Pagan is just like swagging. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
They also kind of overdid Voss in Far Cry 3 before you even got to play it with all the trailers and that documentary on how they created him. But with Pagan, you really didn't get to see him much. You know, you didn't really get to see him much before you actually got to play the game.
Also, pagan as a word is one of my favorite words. So
Mine's Smaug.
I heard your debate on the punt cast, you two.
Smog.
I always called it Smog until Tolkien and, well, really Peter came out and told everyone that it's Smaug. So
that's like Ornstein and Smo, Benson.
Oh, God. Don't remind. I don't want to go back there.
Smoff.
That's it, I've had enough.
Okay, so best character year goes to Pagan Min. Next one, a logical category, is worst character of the year. We had another clear winner in this category as well.
If it isn't Aiden Pierce, I will. I don't know. I'll do something.
All right. Well, don't get your heart rate up because it is Aiden Pierce. He is the worst character of the year. I guess since I can't even remember him, and I guess that makes sense because
I played about 20 minutes of Watch Dogs, and it did run on my PC. Thank fuck. But yeah, that was it.
Pretty much everyone from Titanfall except Spyglass. Nice. I like some of the responses, but
where were the other ones?
Dinklebot.
Dinklebot's a good one.
Dinklebot,
Delson
really, yeah.
Rowe, good one. I put Ramsey Snow.
Yeah, Ramsey's.
AJ Gale, I believe, is Far Cry.
Yeah, you know what? Who else in the call has played Far Cry?
Nope.
Or is playing it right now?
I have.
Okay. What the is his name? AJ Gale or AJ Gale? I cannot.
It's Gale.
Okay, because they say it like 5 different ways. AJ Gale. AJ Gale?
No, it's Gale. They even Pagan says it.
Yeah, he says it in the beginning, and then like random dude is just like,
hey, you know what?
Gale.
I'm stupid. I think there was a tie. Ray, can you confirm? I think the Ghost and Aiden tied it too.
Is the Ghost the same as Ghost?
I would assume so.
/ Dinklebot? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're tied then.
Yes.
All right, so time to vote. Aiden Pierce or Dinklebot?
Aiden.
1 Aiden, 2 Aiden, 1 Dinkle.
Ghost.
I hate both, so
Shoot.
I could
shoot
half for each.
I guess Aiden, dude. That guy was
3
lame.
Aidens.
Yeah, I don't
4
like
Aidens.
at first.
All right, it's Aiden then. Aiden Pierce.
Yeah,
Plus
you
that name
said
is too played out.
Yeah, you said Aiden Pierce, and at first I'm like, who the fuck is that?
And that's my point. I mean, that's my point right there.
I'm like,
As long as
and
it's
then
not Captain Toad.
no.
Captain
Yeah, how
Toad.
dare you?
Okay, so I told you, man. I mean, it's like I have Tourette's right now with Captain Toad. Okay, so
Just wait till they get a Funko Pop of that.
Oh.
it's on, dude. Yeah, if they ever do, not that Nintendo, yeah,
Do they
like
do
they would ever
Nintendo ones?
license their shit out. There's no way. Although there's
they
a
could do
badass.
They did
I think
Philips
there's-
CDI
I think there's
games.
a badass Kid Robot link that I've been looking at. He's not as cool as my Snoop Dogg Kid Robot. He's got a little fatty in his mouth right now, but it does look pretty
How
cool.
is like the website / podcast not sponsored by Funko Pop at this point for you?
They're eventually going to be just like Beanie Babies. You're going to collect all of them, and then they're going to be completely worthless, and then eventually, like, full of bug eggs.
Oh, that's completely fine. I'm not really collecting them for money
it's spider
whatsoever. I
eggs.
just have a weird fascination with super deformed vinyl figures. So
By fascination, he means fetish.
yes, I may or may not stick them in
Yeah.
orifices of my body.
Yeah, I don't like where this is going right now.
Anna, did you go nuts on the amiibos?
We have 4 of them. And that's all I'm letting my husband get because I do not need the fucking clutter.
Busted.
Yeah.
As Anna probably has 30 Disney Infinity characters sitting around somewhere.
No, they are not sitting around. I actually have a case for them. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're the boss, man. The queen rules. So
I'm organized with my Disney Infinity figures. So yeah.
All right, moving on to the next category. This is weirdest game of the year. I thought this was interesting here. We had a clear winner. Anyone want to take a stab at that?
Goat Simulator.
Rollers of the Realm.
Sunset Overdrive is the winner.
What?
Yeah. I think I picked that.
That just no.
Yeah.
It's D4. Dark Dreams Don't Die.
See, no, I put Among the Sleep because it's just a weird.
Yeah, that's a pretty weird.
Yeah,
game.
I mean, well, we actually have some good ones. I'll go off some of the other ones we have. Of course, Raise D4, Jazz Punk, Super Time Force, Among the Sleep, I Am Bread, which is fucking nuts, and Goat Simulator, which is just as nuts. Has anyone looked at I Am Bread, like seriously, besides Owen?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a piece of bread, and you walk yourself around and toast yourself and do other shit. It's one of those physics types of deals.
It's from the Surgeon Simulator team, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I still can't even get the fucking floppy disk into the computer on the menu screen.
See, this is it. The thing with games like Surgeon Simulator, Goat Simulator, I Am Bread, Octodad, they're games for viewing more than playing, I think. Because I played Octodad and it was nowhere near as fun as watching somebody else play it. It's the same with Surgeon Simulator. And Surgeon Simulator used to be a free game because it was made for a game jam.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember playing that, and it was just wasn't anywhere near as fun.
Oh, dude, yeah, I
sitting there
spent
watching somebody else struggle with it.
maybe 10 minutes, and I just ended up hacking a guy, basically cracking his sternum open and dumping in like a can of something. I mean, it's too fucking hard.
Yeah, I mean it's fun for about 2 goes.
Yeah, it's a
the perfect
novelty. I mean, they're novelty
Yeah.
games without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I guess I could agree with Sunset. It is a little weird, especially to see some of the outfits and some of the characters in there, like the Lord of the Flies, Boy Scouts, and the LARPers and all that fun stuff. So. Okay, next one, scariest game of the year. And this was a landslide victory. I don't think we even have to fart around or beat around the bush here. It was Alien Isolation.
Alien, yeah.
Yeah. No question.
What else
Evil
could it have
Within got a couple votes.
I've not played that yet. I've not played the.
I haven't played it
Five
yet.
Nights at Freddy's.
See, Five Nights at
Does PT
Freddy's.
count?
I think that could be.
I mean, it could count, Justin,
well.
but no one voted for it, so.
You know what? I would have voted for PT. Yeah. I should have thought about that.
See, here's what gives me a red rump about PT is
Red Rump. I love it.
like you play 2 or 3 cycles of the little puzzle, and then I got completely lost, so I got taken out of the game. I wasn't scared anymore. I was pissed off.
Right.
It is
that
loose
makes
Because I
sense.
couldn't figure
game.
out the puzzle.
Quite literally.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I
it's
haven't.
like you say, you get stuck, and then that turns into frustration. But
Right, it takes you out of it.
and I totally agree with that. But the first couple of hours of playing that game would, for me, they were, well, I say game, fucking demo, teaser, trailer, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But it was exceptional.
Yeah, but I
Just
mean, I
purely
think
on a
Alien
marketing
Isolation
level, it was
just
fucking amazing.
clearly takes the cake here. I've played about 2.5 hours of Evil Within, and it's more the really fucked up horror than the scary jump type.
It also
of stuff.
stopped being scary pretty quick when they started putting in things like invisible enemies, and then trying to aim in third person was like, okay, I'm not scared anymore. I just don't want to play this freaking game.
Ray's our resident expert on that one, so.
I don't know.
bought the game,
I think a lot of people did have a problem with the invisible enemies. You're not the only one I've heard who had that was the point where they just like kind of throw their hands up with that game. I thought it was pretty well done, and maybe I don't know. Maybe a lot of it was like knowing that I'm playing this because I played it for a review, so I had a copy from Bethesda early. So I wonder how much of like the horror or like fear you can feel from that comes from being like somehow knowing like, all right, I'm one of few people that are going through this. I can't go on the internet and
that's a
find
good
out
point.
what to do or something, you know?
Yeah, I think that does add to the horror.
Yeah, and like I don't
Definitely.
know, like playing it late at night, being like, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna be seeing next. I'd put it as the scariest game, specifically because I didn't play Isolation, but like Justin said, I was remiss in not including PT because, man, I was very uncomfortable playing that.
See, I wasn't scared by it. I wasn't scared by PT. I enjoyed it for what it was, and I was determined more than anything to kind of do the puzzles and so, because I thought I just presumed that there was going to be some kind of reward at the end. I wasn't expecting a fucking CGI of Norman Reedus or anything. You know, that was a surprise. Wasn't what I wanted, but knowing that it was going to be a Silent Hill game, that was a nice little
The thing about Alien for me is that it made me feel like I did as a kid watching the movies, which was just scared shitless. And there's something to say for that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Going back to Alien, Alien Isolation is just fucking amazing for shitting you up.
Yeah, it's
like I was genuinely scared.
It is a terrifying game without a doubt.
Like for me, the moment I realised that I was shitting myself, and I don't shit myself that often playing games, but the moment I realised it was after you first encounter the alien, after when it first drops through the vents, but the very first kind of time you see it in the game at all. And then you have to wait for the shuttle.
Oh, is it like after with the guy? Like after
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't played it. So,
That's when I stopped playing,
and it all comes together.
Oh
you can
my
hear
god!
The music's building, the smoke and the mist is everywhere. You've just seen the thing, so you know it's in the area, and it takes forever. You see it turn up, don't you? Like it arrives, but then it takes forever for the fucking doors to open. And
I was so scared. I really was. Like that moment happened and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I just ran. I didn't even wait for a prompt or anything to say like get to the shuttle. I'm just like I
banging
bolted.
on the door. Let me in.
And then like the smoke started coming, the lights are flickering, and like Benson said, the music is just like building up.
It's so
and you see the lights flashing for the shuttle because you called it. I'm just like, where the fuck is this shuttle? Like, I don't want to die. And I'm like looking towards the shuttle, and then I turn around and I look behind me, and then I'm just like spinning around in a circle.
The unknown
I'm thinking it's gonna come out.
is rough in that game without a doubt. So
See, the thing is, if you actually wait at that bit, if you don't go in the shuttle, the alien does appear. It'll drop out of the vent.
Oh, fuck that.
And it'll, because I got in the shuttle and I thought, I'm safe. So I turned around, I thought, I want to have a look, see what it looks like. And it just came storming in and killed me.
I got caught at that same moment doing the same shit. Like, I made it. And he's like,
I
remember getting the sound maker for the first time and didn't quite, get the hang of throwing it.
Oh, yeah.
And ended up throwing it right by myself when I was stuck in a corner. And I was like, oh, well, shit, I'm fucked.
Come and get me. All right. Well, I think that is definitely the clear winner of 2014 for scariest game. So moving on, we have best HD remake. Again, if it didn't kind of stumble out of the gate, I think Halo probably would have taken this easily. But the winner is GTA 5.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fair.
Not just the improvements in the visuals, but the fact that they created a whole new first-person mode.
Do you know what the thing with it, right, is like GTA 5 may have only been released last year, but playing it again on PS4, it would just constantly reminded me of how excellent that game was, even on the old hardware. Like, it looks amazing on the PS4, the first-person mode is brilliant, the story obviously is exactly the same, but it just constantly reminded me of like, fuck, man, what an amazing game that was, even on the PS3 and the 360. Like how brilliant that world was, how detailed, how like all the, I could just go on about it forever, all the tiny little details that are in there. It's just, it's nothing short of incredible, and how they got that to transfer over again to the PlayStation 4 and make me feel all the same things again, even only a year after it's been released, is, it's amazing. Yeah, I play now GTA exclusively in first person. Yeah, it is a bit harder driving. Definitely makes it more challenging. But I just love it. I love it in first person. I've always wanted a first person mode in GTA, and the fact that they actually gave that.
Yeah, I need to check that out. I've not tried the first person yet. And I just wanted to say here, if this category was called Best HD Remake Visuals, I think you have to give it to Halo, because we're talking about a 10-year-old game in Halo 2 that they made look better than most current gen Xbox One games. I mean,
yeah, but at the same time, that's kind of a no-brainer. That's like me saying, we can take a game from the SNES and update it. It's going to look better. There's no way it could have looked worse.
Well, that's why I said if it was called Best HD Visuals and not Game.
Yeah, but yeah, see, I would say that you could argue that GTA, the visuals have been improved, like probably just as much as what you're thinking with Halo, because yes, they've had
all right, the deal breaker with the Halo thing is just pull up the fucking cutscenes. I mean, come on, it's not even close. The new cutscenes look like a movie. I mean, they're better than anything that's out right now. You look at the old cutscenes and they're polygons. That's what I'm getting at. And that's not in the fucking category, so who cares? It was Best HD Remake Game, which was GTA 5. I'm just trying to speed things along here, Jim, because I know we're going a little bit long, buddy. So, next up we have...
Next year it's going to be Majora's Mask, so pencil that in.
Next up we have Best Indie Game of the Year. And we do have a winner. Any takers on the winner here?
Yeah, Shovel Knight?
Shovel Knight wins.
Shovel Knight.
Very, very clearly, too. Some of the other ones up there, This War of Mine, that was me. Volgar the Viking, Towerfall Ascension, Five Nights at Freddy's, Binding of Isaac Rebirth. But Shovel Knight definitely took the prize there. That is a game I think I would like to play. I just don't ever get to it. And I have a feeling it may make me angry when I play it too.
Well, it's going to come out on PS4 next year, so you can wait until next year.
Fantastic.
But you will get frustrated.
Okay, not fantastic. All right, the next category was a complete clusterfuck. It was most underrated game of the year. Everyone that participated put something different. So the winner is everything. No, I mean we have Ray's D4.
Yes.
How do you know it was Ray?
Of course, it's Ray.
I just know.
Well, hang on a minute. You could get rid of anything that's already been won a Golden Buddha.
Yeah. Okay. So Titanfall goes away, and that's it. South Park goes away. I mean, it's up there. I mean, there's no clear winner. So I
think South Park was the most underrated because think about it. While we're talking, everyone says, "Oh yeah, I forgot that game came out." But it's still as you're playing it, you feel like it's a great game. It's just, I don't know that it has staying power. I mean, it's a 10 to 12 hour game. There's not a lot of draw to keep playing it. There's not, like extra loot or bonuses or, even
what may be a good one on here is Assassin's Creed Rogue.
That's all.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Like that one, I mean, again, does such a good job of, it's almost like a fan service, and it ties everything so well. I mean, it even ties in Unity, but I mean, there's some things from Assassin's Creed 3 that you have some questions about, and it gets answered. And it's
I have questions about everything in Assassin's Creed. I'm totally lost in the story. I have no idea what's fucking going on.
There's no point outside of just paying attention to the era you're in, because the whole future stuff is just bonkers at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what was, I don't know, I guess that's why I liked it so much, just because it's Assassin turned Templar. I mean, and that's not a secret. I mean, that was out there with this game. It's like, even on the cover, you see the little cross from a Templar, but...
Isn't the character a bit of a dick in Rogue?
He's the
Anakin Skywalker of Assassin's Creed.
What is it? Shay Patrick McCormick.
Oh,
I think
he's got a terrible
I mean,
accent, if I remember.
he's Irish.
Kinda.
I mean, so
No, he's not.
kind of.
Yeah, hey,
I don't
Ben,
know.
give us
not
what
Irish.
Irish people really talk like. Can you do them?
Oh, no, I can't do that. That'd be offensive.
Can you do a Scottish accent?
Can you go Cockney?
Can I do what?
The Cockney.
Okay, well, sort of, because Cockney's very similar to my accent at the moment, in a way, because it's you know.
Well, you did a good egret. I remember you did a good one.
It's putting me on the spot. It has to be spontaneous.
Jon Snow.
I get all nervous about it.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Scottish is pretty easy to do.
Oh, I can tell you right now, when I used to play games a lot with these guys, and they'd have fucking Welsh people on, Scots, Irish. I cannot understand one fucking thing Scottish people say. I mean, it makes, even though they're speaking English, it makes no sense. So here we go. Let's get, we really went down a fucking tangent here on dialects, but let's, so anyways, let's wrap most underrated game. I honestly, as we've been making fun of them, but I think Ray might be dead on with D4, and I think AC Rogue are good choices, so let's vote between those two.
D4.
D4.
I guess D4 because, you know, Rogue is just Black Flag 2.
Two D4s. Anyone else?
I'm gonna say Rogue. I'll say Rogue because it was really overshadowed.
One
by
Rogue.
all the shit that went on.
Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Two Rogues.
I mean, the shitstorm that Unity was will not taint what Rogue was. So, I mean, because they're two completely separate games, two completely different things. So
Rogue just felt like it wasn't its own game. It just felt like an expansion to Black Flag 2, and I felt it could have been released as that. It wasn't very long either. There wasn't enough to it to make it
It's a short game, but it's on the same engine that they use for Black Flag. There are naval missions, but it's a really good story.
All right. Whoa, hey, puberty. I don't even know if Ray's on here anymore because he.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you guys to.
So he's gonna vote. We know what he's voting. So I think D4 wins then. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
There you go, Ray. We got you
Finally.
one. Send it to
All
Swery after the cast.
Is Ray
Yes,
accepting
he
this
is. He
golden
would
boot
walk
on
up
behalf
and
of
get
D4?
that.
I have a speech prepared if you guys want.
Thank you.
just
I know
really
no one
hungry, so
fucking
I'll
knows
wait.
what this game is, but it won underrated game of the year. Okay. Yeah. Worst gaming moment of the year. And this was a pretty much runaway here. AC Unity / Ubisoft. I mean, just lumped together. Unity, and then we got just people saying anything Ubisoft, buggy launches, blah, blah, blah. So AC Unity and Ubisoft win that one. Some other ones, Halo MCC. Gamergate was a good one. Buggy launches kind of runs into things. When I ran out of things, what the hell is this? When I ran out of things to do in Sunset Overdrive, that's clever. Leak of AC Victory, Unity Rogue. Yeah, so AC Unity, Ubisoft, they kind of take the cake for worst gaming moment of 2014.
They take the piss.
Yeah, I don't think there's any arguments there. Anyone? Any challengers?
I
to
put
that?
Ubisoft because, you know, with all the bugs going on with Unity and how fucking shitty it is at the moment, and they're still, you know, releasing patches, hearing that they're releasing Victory in the midst of all this, and they're saying they're going to fix, you know, the issues with Unity before they actually put out Victory, but seeing that they're still, you know, in that every year release date thing really still pisses me off.
Oh, dude, it's a meat grinder, man. They always have one in the pipeline, and it's going to be like. I mean, I think Unity may. I mean, I don't know what the sales ended up being, but all the bad PR, it may slow that train a little bit. But until they don't turn a profit, it's going to keep happening. So. All right, so that was a clear winner there. Flop of the year. This is an interesting one here. And we definitely had a runaway winner in this, too. Any guesses on the flop of the year? I'm not really... that's what it was. I'm not really sure what constitutes a flop these days, if we're talking sales dollars, PR nightmares, or just lowered expectations. But Watch Dogs definitely took the cake. And
Yeah.
I'm going to save Game of the Year for last. We also have Mobile Game of the Year. There's no clear winner, so I'm going to enact my absolute power and make Star Wars
Dungeon Keeper Mobile.
Star Wars Commander, the complete rip-off of Clash of Kings, but using Star Wars skins. Can't beat it. That
Spider-Man Unlimited.
That actually made Apple's app store one of their apps of the year, so you're probably right, but I'm still going Star Wars Commander. Vetoed. All right, and here we go. EntertainmentBuddha.com's Game of the Year in 2014 is Dragon Ass Age Inquisition, much to Ray's dismay. You'll have to add that in, but yay, woohoo, woo, yeah.
I'm not adding that in. Nope.
And here's all I'm going to say on that. I mean,
I don't understand how a game that came out a month ago could be Game of the Year. It's just
lining
It's the
people's
same
pockets.
thing with all the movie awards.
That's just, well, there's cutoff times for those, just like the Grammys and stuff. They have to come out within a certain time for it to qualify.
Yeah, I don't really think
That's
when the
just
game releases,
my
as
2
long
cents.
as it's in the year, really matters. Because as long as you can play it and enjoy it, then it is what it is. And again, these are all just opinions, but like I said, open it up. I have 3 games that are swirling around in my head that I could pick as my personal games of the year when we do that post, and that's DA, Alien, and Shadow of Mordor. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no ill will towards Dragon Age, just for the sheer size, the amount of content, the way it can suck you in. If you do like the game, unlike Raymond, it can kind of keep you busy for a long ass time. Just doing mundane shit, which in other games you do mundane shit, you'll hate it. In this game, for some reason, I had no problem walking around and collecting shards and closing rifts and doing other just pointless shit to level up.
It's like how people joked around in Skyrim about collecting butterflies. I've spent way too much time collecting elf fruit. It's just not fun.
Oh yeah, I was cracked out. Anytime I would find rocks or plants to pick up, I had to do it. So I know not everyone's happy with the pick, but I get it. It's not like we're jumping on the Game Awards and some of the other sites. I do think it can earn Game of the Year. So that is our choice. Dragon Age Inquisition. Bravo, BioWare. Bravo. Way to kind of get your swag back with the Dragon Age franchise. Even though I didn't think the second one was that bad.
Does it make you more apprehensive, Ray, for Mass Effect? If you was you ever into Mass Effect? I don't think you was, actually, was you?
No, I liked Mass Effect. Yeah. I didn't play it through the third one. I like the first 2 a lot, though.
Yeah, I definitely love the first
And
2.
Inquisition definitely feels like a fantasy-based Mass Effect. I mean, there's
well, that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that Inquisition is has scored. So
I mean,
strongly
it steals
and
the
is
formula
our
from
Game of
Mass
the
Effect
Year.
2 and 3. I mean, it's the exact same shit. You have hub worlds that you can pimp out. You can make your castle better. You have to go and recruit factions or piss them off so they'll come with you at the end. You got all these characters and they have their own personal missions you can go on. So they very heavily borrowed from Mass Effect. Probably not a bad idea because the Mass Effect trilogy was probably my favorite of last gen, without a doubt.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it bodes well for number 4.
And there's probably going to be, well, we know there's going to be another Mass Effect, and no spoilers here, but there's definitely going to be another Dragon Age. They kind of set some stuff up, so. And that's it, people. It was a long one. Thanks everyone that has joined me on the cast. And thanks to those of you, especially Farsender. I know you'll definitely be listening, so here's your shout out, buddy. We love you. We try to get back to you on all your comments. Trust me, we appreciate it. Keep it up. You kick ass. You are why we do this shit. So appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, without a doubt.
Buddha for best fan.
We're gonna pencil that one in. Farsender, you do.
What was the Game Awards that it was? No, not personality. What
Trending gamer.
gamer.
Farsender wins our trending gamer of the year.
year.
So kudos, my man. Thanks for kind of spreading the good word. We really owe a lot to you. I think this guy has gotten us at least 50 more backlinks on various sites, which is fantastic. So kudos, brother. So that wraps up 2014 EntertainmentBuddha.com Golden Buddha Awards. Like I said, we'll be prepping a post so you can kind of read through our picks that should go live tomorrow. And then hopefully next week we'll have our site-wide top 10 games of the year, as well as the staff picks for their top 5, top 10 games of the year. So before we hang up, anything we want to kind of promote here? So let's start with Anna. Anything you want to plug?
You can follow me on Twitter at Febzilla. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You know, all that stuff.
Yes, go do that, please. Thank you. How about you, David?
You can find me over on Xbox Live, Steam, or Twitter under 6Night. That's NITE. Other than that, I think that's it.
Rock and roll. Justin?
Better game testing so there's no more shitty launches.
That's not game testing. That's not like the QA guy's fault.
That's what.
Well, everybody.
That's what you got.
And they should bring out Arkham Knight ASAP.
Bring out what one? What did he say? Oh, yes.
Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight, no shitty launches.
I have faith
What
in
if
Rocksteady.
it came out with
I don't think
launch?
Rocksteady will do that, but you never know if Warner Brothers has the thumb on them. So,
see, here's the point. Adventures of Bayou Billy didn't come out with a bunch of glitches and bugs, so you couldn't do that shit
all
with cartridges. You can do that
either
now.
Freeze and then you just have to blow on them, or push it up and down in the NES chassis a couple times and it works.
You don't blow into them. That's how I ended up breaking my N64 and then cried.
Well, you're not supposed to spit on.
Yeah, rubbing alcohol.
Oh no, those things are full of spit.
All right,
No, it's rubbing alcohol.
Benson's,
That's
anything
fail-safe.
you want to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at 10bensons. And also while you're there, make sure to follow Entertainment Buddha, go to our YouTube channel, go to our Twitch channel, go to all the channels, go to everywhere. Give us a like, give us a follow, share us out. And my parting words, probably for 2014, are fuck Gamergate.
Thank you, sir. Well said. How about you, RP3?
I don't have any parting words. It's been a fun year. I'm glad to be back on the podcast. I'm glad to argue with you guys about
Thank
things
you.
again.
We appreciate your deep, sultry voice as usual, and that.
Can I change that to fuck Raymond Pareka? That's
Sure.
third.
Yes,
That's
make
fine.
sure to put his title in there. He is from royal blood. All right, and then, so I guess that's to me. You can follow me on Twitter at Matt R. Haywood. That's Haywood with an E, not an A. And like everyone else said, just go to entertainmentbuddha.com. You can find all the damn socials we're on. It's stupid to go over it ever again. Please follow us. I trust you. You will get something out of the site on a daily basis. We definitely cover a lot of video game shit, but I dig up some really random stuff before most sites, even though they all release them after I do. So if you like fucking weird web stuff, if you like geek art, if you like game news and originals, if you like movie shit, if you just like being a geek, get on board with entertainmentbuddha.com.
Remember, people, he's Tinkerbell.
Yes,
he needs
I do.
applause
Thank
to
you
live.
very much for that reminder, Anna. I forgot that little episode from the last cast. That was a good one.
He needs Tinkerbell. He's Tinkerbell. Come on, people. Just like the site.
Yeah, so
We'll be
please,
happy.
please
We'll all be happy.
let us continue to grow in 2015. We've made huge strides in 2014. We're starting to knock down some barriers that have been preventing us from kicking ass before, and it's all because of the people. So, we love you for that. Namaste. May the force be with you. And happy Crimbo. Whatever the fuck that is. That is the coolest way to describe Christmas. We learned that from our friend 10 Bensons. I will never refer to it as Christmas again. So happy Crimbo, happy holidays, Kwanzaa, Festivus, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. We hope you have a good time. Make sure to play some great games while you're on your breaks. Make sure to go check out some movies. Catch The Hobbit. Go watch Interstellar. Come on. Take advantage of your time
Captain
off.
Toad.
And yes, don't forget
Captain
about
Toad.
Captain Toad. All right, we'll see you in
Captain
2015,
Toad.
everyone. Goodbye.
Peace.
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 Captain fucking Toad.
Oh, dear.
Big pile of shit.